Okay, how do we factor something like this? Right, so I can tell you the procedure, but let's try to understand it. It starts from the fact that this entire thing should, if it's factorable, it should form a big rectangle, okay? So it should form a big rectangle. And this here represents a rectangle in the corner here. And this 15 represents a rectangle here. So this should equal to 4a squared. This should equal to 15. And 23a needs to be split. So these two add up to together 23a. So the question is, how do I use the factors of this? So for example, this can be like 2a, right? And 2a. So that length would be 2a. What do I need to pick here and what do I need to pick here so that when I get the area, it adds up to 23? So for example, let's say 5 and 3. So let's see, does it work? This is 6a, and if that's 2a, this is also this is 10. And then if you multiply these two, you get 6. That's only 16. Okay, so that tells me it didn't work, right? So how else can we break this up? So that's not the right dimension, so we need to split this in two. I want all number. All number is an even number plus an odd number, right? You can't add two even numbers or two odd numbers. So I want this to be maybe 1a, okay, and this to be 4a. And 1a I'm going to multiply with maybe 3 and 5. So this is, look, that's 20a, and that adds up to, right, 3a. Look, 4a squared plus 15, 20a plus 3a, right, it adds up to a total rectangle. So what are the dimensions of this? Well, this is 1a, so this is a, right, and then this is plus 5. What's the dimension of this? Well, it's 4a. So 4a. This is 3, so this is 3 as well, so plus 3. Okay, so that makes sense, right? So this can all fit in here. So this should factor into a plus 5 and 4a plus 3. Okay. Now, drawing this picture this way, it just takes way too long. Okay, so let's just go down here and check our strategy. 4a, okay, so we had to check what two numbers multiply to 4, right? What two numbers multiply to give you this area? So 4a and a, okay? And we have to multiply each of this. So you have to multiply a horizontal factor with a vertical factor. So we can list the two numbers out, right? So let's see here, 5 and 3. So let's represent this to be like the row and then the column. Then you want this also to be the row and the column, right? So this is, you can think of this as 4 rows and this is 1 column, okay? And this is 3 rows and 5 columns. So you don't write this 3 times by 5. So to form this area though, look, we multiply the a, which is the column number, with the row number, right? So I multiply this to get 3a, and I multiply this to get this 20a. But my answer is, the length of the sides here is 4a plus 3 and a plus 5. So you do a little cross multiplication to check to see if you get these right areas. And once it does add up to 23a, you list your final answer in a straight, the rows with the rows and the columns with the column. Okay, but when you form the area, you have to do row times by column, right, and then column times by row.